Welcome to Scriptiva.ai. I'm going to walk you through the interface and then I'm going to give you a few pointers here. So first off, we've got the left panel here. You've got a planner tab and a story tab. This is where everything kind of your navigation for your story is, and a few other features you can access. You've got the middle panel here. This is where your plans show up and your story text actually shows up. These are editors as well. I'll get into that here in a little bit. On the right here, we've got your chat window. You type down here. You've got two agents that you can talk to, a planner agent and a writer agent. The planner agent helps you create plans and develop those and talks you through them. The writer agent will take those plans then and write them out into actually story prose. At the top here, you've got your story title panel, and you can put a cover image here. I'll get into those as well. To the right here in the top right corner, you've got your main profile menu. This is where everything kind of sits. You can create a new story from here. You can load stories. You've got different themes to choose from. Kind of set the mood. You can export your story in PDF, EPUB, a docx file, or text. You can buy credits. And if you come here and you type in however many dollars you want to spend, it'll tell you how many credits you'll receive for that. You can also contact support directly here. Type it in, get an email. We'll email you back at the address you signed up with. You can also restart the tour at any time if you want to get familiar with things again. Now to get started, all you really need to do is go to your planner agent and ask it to help you plan out a story about whatever subject it is. I found that the best thing to do is just give it a brain dump of your overall vision, everything that you have in mind right now, and it will start a process of trying to help you plan that out. And once it reaches a point that it thinks it has enough information to create a plan, it'll automatically go and do that. Or at any time you can just say add it to the planner or something to that effect, and it'll add the plan. When you're just starting out, the initial plan will likely be a global plan. So the difference between a global plan and a scope plan is that global plans are included with every message to the AI for both the planner and the writer agent. Scope plans are only included when you select them. So it kind of lets you focus while still including all of your global planning that you've done, whether it's world building, characters, things like that. Once you've created all of your global plans, you can create a scope plan, like a scene plan, opening scene. Once you create that and define everything, get that how you like, you can select that plan, go to the writer agent and just ask the writer agent to write it out in 2,000 words or however many words you would like. At some point you want to give your story a title, and all you got to do is click this and type in any title, click enter, and when you do that, autosave will automatically start functioning and monitoring for changes, and when it detects changes it will automatically save for you, and it runs every 30 seconds, so you don't have to worry about saving. That gets handled for you in the background. Alright, in order to show you some of the more advanced features, I will load up an example story and kind of walk you through a few things. So I'll go with Jerry the Ant. Alright, so these are the plans that I have for this story. I have have one global plan that we're looking at here in the middle panel in the plans editor. This originated from just kind of a brain dump, like I said, and then talking through the planner agent. But it's got tone, themes, settings. It has the characters, the visual traits, hidden strengths, plot structure, the chapter outlines, educational strategy, target vocabulary, science facts to cover. So it's pretty comprehensive. And my brain dump didn't look anything like this. So very organized, structured, filled in a lot of gaps, wrote a lot of detail that I just briefly kind of covered. We've got scope plans, which these are each of the scenes. And for this story, each scene was about 2,000 words long, so I just made that its own chapter. But the scenes all go into just as much detail, basically. But it outlines the scenes in a kind of overview way. It doesn't get very specific about certain things and details. It kind of leaves that open for the writer agent to kind of fill in. It just gives instructions. So it's essentially a way to create very organized, structured, and detailed, comprehensive prompts that you deliver to a writer agent who is instructed to write for this type of situation. So I won't go into all the details here about all the scenes. Just want to kind of give you an overview here of the functionality. So you'll notice that there's also some green borders around these. What that means is that the plan is linked to a story segment. So over here in the story editor, I have all the story text. I can scroll through all this. This is, I don't know, 8 chapters or so. If I click this copy all button, it'll tell me that it was 16,641 words altogether. For easier navigation in the story editor, we've got the story tab over here on the left panel, and I can go to any one of these. As I scroll through, it'll kind of highlight where I'm at. Let's see here, there you go, you can see I just went to the second one. I can click any of these and it'll bring me to the section. So it's like a quick navigation. There's also a few buttons here. There's a plus button, and what this does is allow you to add chapters or assign this segment to a chapter. So in this case, I have 8 chapters. This segment is assigned to chapter 7. I could go ahead and remove that, or I could add another chapter from that menu, and that same menu is on all of these. The second button here is a segment analysis, or essentially a summary. This title here is generated from an AI who analyzes the story text and then generates this summary. And these summaries then are included with the AI agents when you talk to them. This button here, the AI button, will automatically rewrite this based on the text that is in your segment in the story editor tab. And that comes in handy if you manually edit the story text and it changes the summary or the analysis significantly. You can rerun this and it'll generate a new summary or new analysis based on your edits. The X button here will delete this, and it'll delete the story text here as well. I jump back to the plans here. I didn't go over the buttons here, but I did mention the green border being linked to the segment scenes over here. You can unlink those, or you can link them. So if I unlink that, no longer a green border, and there's no longer an arrow that'll take me to that segment from the planner tab. So I don't remember which one that was linked to. So what that allows me to do though is I can now filter these, and what this does is hide all of the linked plans, and that kind of gives me an idea of which plans have already been kind of accounted for. So now when I talk with the planner agent, any new plans will show up here and none of these will be visible so they don't clutter the space. This is useful when you get a longer story and you have a lot more segments in your story, or plans, should I say. Over here in the middle panel on the plans editor, we've got a few features here. You can collapse the plans. You can also select multiple plans, and all of those selected plans will be included with the AI agents when you send a message. We've also got a edit button where you enter edit mode and you can easily get rid of some things or you can add things. Click on any of them. You can change them around manually if you want. There's also an AI button, and when you click this, a window will pop up where you can ask the AI to rewrite this anyway, and it'll automatically do that for you. This here is just the label, whether it's a scope plan or a global plan. In the story editor, we've got a few options there as well. Let me scroll to the top. First off, we've got a filter where you can filter down to any of the chapters or any that are unassigned. When you filter down, when you copy off, you're on chapter 1, it'll only copy chapter 1 to your clipboard. If you're on all segments, it'll copy the whole thing and it'll tell you the word count in the bottom right. You can also go ahead and change the text size if you want for a little bit better legibility. You can delete your story text, which will delete the story summary as well. You've got edit mode where you can enter edit mode, and now you can go in, make changes to anything in your story text if you want. You can access the summary here as well. You can collapse these, as you see I've done for a few of these already. So as you read, if you want to collapse them as you go, so you know where you're at, you can do that. And there's a copy button where you can copy just that segment alone if you want to make edits. Over here in the right panel, you've got your balance information. You've got your total balance here on the left. In the middle, you've got the used. So if you notice, there's a little button when you hover over where you can reset this number. So it's kind of like an odometer. And when you start a new story, you can reset it and you can kind of track how many credits you've used towards that story so far. The last is how many credits you spent on the last message you sent to the AI. For the writer agent, when you get the story written back to you, and then it also gets the summary that's included with that last message as well. At the top here, you've also got a cover image. You can click this and put in a cover image, and that's useful when you're exporting to EPUB or DocX. It's right in there for you, ready to go. Just a couple other tips. Down here in the bottom right, you've got a clear chat button for each agent. I would use that often to keep your credit or token consumption down and credit usage. So after you've created a plan, I would go ahead and clear it. After you've written a story segment, I would go ahead and clear it. Unless you purposely want to include all of that information, you can keep it in there as well. Down here, this is kind of a quick view of which plan you have selected. So if you have multiple plans selected, they will both show up down here, or all of them will show up down here. And that gives you kind of a quick view of what plans you have selected that you're going to be sending to the AI agent for context. Down here in the models selection, I've got most of the updated models in there for Anthropic, Google, and OpenAI. I found the O3 model does really well. It costs a little bit more, but they recently reduced the price. If you're on the free credits and you're just wanting to test things out and see what it can do, some of the mini models or the flash models, they take very little credits, and you can go a long ways with 500 credits. So I would suggest starting with those and then moving to the O3 or the 4.1 or any of the other models to see the difference. With this story, in total, we used about 1,800 credits. That covers the basics of Scriptiva. I hope you enjoy.